laso ne lingit sangma ne cherte jodla ne chena bat sangma la samti tashi delek ta ne chena bat sangma kuzu setang ne kuzu de imbi arawa ye ta jurmuchi ta tusine kala urta nyindon le tu mudura kajinan da tana tisutla tis lega ena tis mongodo che ane do chene ta nyindon tagas kita chik kala urta nyim da trust of de tu mudura the most young gongame was shula kashi some silver that dear god na the dear poem do some silver though in a ande the mix it in a kemare la tanatizula ngangara that is legado monguche and richinita chick nintuna kaptu letu mudura laso ne the three the ngekecha do the karla labina ne that number someone change bare that no tizula ne chick semba na samma hiwa jita ne chik kana la da phashashra endi chik tan ni suji tana rodi do ta chik khonsa cho ki kola ne ta tu sin yan tu ta tu sin rodi sha do namba to sama ita tu sin chenche ba do re samudra ta tinde nyen tu rodi gaps ta pena ta ngaso do ni na ta jira jira sta kala urta chik di kala chik che labina chik misi kiches ki midura chigne ta khala urta chulo ta mi ta tagas kin dewa ta indes ke me osonza ane mirik shemba da nyam da tus dewa misi dine ke me osonza ane misi dine ke chetu mudura deni da nge kecha la ta kecha tenda dodoro de tsoro de karla la bina ta ngaran so peba nanu la ta chik instagram gaji di chinge ina re ane youtube nyen thon dolas di chinge ina re 야 자가기 다 속과 친구들이 나нул라 땅 알아서 다 배워기 다 내가 지딩드네 이나레 아니 콜레지드네 이나레 아니 직 맹강다 아니 레공카다 다 고이나 알아서 다 배워기 다직 자가기 냠둘라다 두스네 다 내가 지딩이나레 초와게 딩이나레 다 소소기 두고토모 유딩이드네 이나레 다 뒤소치다 드링아 믹스기 계자 갈라이 라비나 다 다나기 뒤소들라다 자게가지다 갈라오다 뒤소디 흉침부에 뭐 손자 tene sonza ane instagram da mixing da instagram da youtube tsugin da nanglola da soso jaga gi da tomo da tende gi jaga nim da ndewa hukchumbu yingi da ngaran so pepe ji so nanglola instagram da kala instagramer la ora da instagram nanglola nyintong sunge inare youtube nyintong sunge inare ra mangbu ji yerda in number so la rewa kharla labina ene tisik da tanade konsa chugo ji da tanade tusini chik nesu da kala orda ande chik semba cho chik nesu jita tusine mi kita khala orta ha mago atne do tine jinda chik nyindung jita rode do tanda de so kola do ane chik sosongun do chik tis chik strategy da tis chik lobjon ji chene en de so kola do chik ta jaga ke da inji ke khari tholi imbi na do nyindung se tu tusine tamthuna ya budu samgudura pena da tanda ngaran su da chik khala orta pebi da konsa chokola da tu ha konge da tinde da youtuber da instagramer la ortana kashi ji da tu sine anyentong da tenshara teda tendawi da ten aranzo nangula da tu sinda chik instagram ta follower mongbo yingi yore youtube na follower mongbo yingi yore di nalon da mixi jaga da so follower mongbo yingi da yor da ni kushi da ngi charan so la request kari la bina tinde tola da tisik so da nyentong ji setunara yapudu samgidu ane tatana nga dijela do tatana nga so tana angal kul da tsugi youtube na karsa instagram na lushar da jaga aman karin chiglaj do digin de shipe wa jegdu
we came across this video of His Holiness with this kid kissing him and telling him to suck his tongue. And normally when we come across something like this, we ignore it because we know His Holiness and there's many of stuff like this we've seen of His Holiness, his playful behavior. But this time when our friends started questioning us, when they were like, oh, can you explain this? And the world is reacting in such an outrageous, shocking manner, we were like, okay, we have to put something out. And we were like, of course, the world is very easily ready to judge. Like they see something like this and they go like, oh, this is unacceptable. This is shocking. Imagine if one of us was doing it that way. So we understand where the world is coming from, but we also want to explain you where His Holiness is coming from. It's actually a little hard to imagine because he's like the purest being there is. But let's see, we can understand it, okay? And that's why we're trying to make this video.
It was out in the open.
Right. Like, people have to understand that this video is out in the open. He's not doing it in his private bedroom. He's not pushing everyone out, like, give me alone time with this kid. He's out in the open with cameras watching. This is live everywhere, right? So if you're trying to hide something, if you have something wrong in your mind, you hide. You steal in secret. You don't steal like, okay, I'm going to steal because it's acceptable. So there's no wrong intention here. He's a very playful person. Like, if you'll see his videos with top religious leaders, with like bureaucrats, with like politicians, with Desmond Tutu, where he's literally kissing him, where he's this close, pursing his lips, where you see him with the ex-Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, where you see him with these religious leaders pulling their beards. He's a very, very playful person. It's just that we are coming from a perspective where you and I, we have anger, we have attachment, we have hatred, we have lust. In this case, lust. So when we see something like this, our buttons of lust gets panicked and they're like, oh no, this is wrong. But now imagine if you and I remove lust from this picture, remove anger, remove hatred from this picture and become this pure being like His Holiness is. Do you think this is wrong? A granddad kissing his grandchild, me kissing a child, me telling him playfully, suck my tongue. You think this is wrong? But you'll have to imagine that there's no lust in this picture, which is hard, right? Because we have so much afflictive emotions, you and I. But His Holiness, he's beyond all of that. For 86 years, he's grown up with monks. He's a monk himself, and it's an old tradition of Dalai Lama Ji resurrecting as Dalai Lama. So it's not just this life. I mean, you don't have to believe next life, but just look at this life. 86 years of living life as a monk with monks. So he's so far from all of this, from pedophilia, from like lust with kids or just lust in general. He doesn't understand all of this. So now use this perspective and see if there's anything wrong in this. He's a Buddha. Like, that's why we have this perspective towards Buddhism, right? They don't see a difference between a stone and a Ferrari. They don't see a difference between shit and the perfect Japanese food. You'll have to come that Buddhism is not something that we find out there. And the Buddha, is not something which is out there. That's why for us, his followers, for his sincere followers, we actually take water to him. And we, like, when he blows on the water and when by mistake he spits or he actually intentionally spits in this water is the holiest thing that we have now. Like, we'll actually save it, like, this is more precious than gold for us. We'll actually give a drop of it to everyone because it has Dalai Lama Ji's spit in it. If he spits on me, if he urinates on me, you'll be like, oh, this is such bad behavior. You are blinded by your faith or whatever, but you don't have to believe it. That's why I'm addressing for his followers. This is like the biggest blessing that we could have. And that's why I would just ask you to look at some other perspectives. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, why you think this is outrageous and shocking, but for his followers, for people who know Buddhism, for who know the Buddha, who is His Holiness for us, this is actually endearing, this is sweet, this is the biggest blessing for the kid and his parents. You don't know their reaction. They must be just filled with joy right now.
He's a pure being.
He's a pure being. And yes, that's it. That's all I have to say. I wish you a good day.
Dinyamdula to ang so utangi ta na de chundi ne thagyer namge do lagi tu sine nyantung ji swin tu lushara.
Hello everyone, I'm Lhagiri Namgetoga, speaking to everyone today as a responsible Tibetan Buddhist woman. I consider that in this contemporary day and age, expression of emotions and manners has fundamentally become linear and vividly controlled. You know, bringing in narratives of other cultures, customs, and social influences on gender and sexuality to interpret Tibetan way of expression is baffling. It is intriguing and heavily disturbing for me individually on how selected media houses in India and abroad and individuals including fake profiles on social media are presenting this media-driven life of abstraction event of 87-year-old celibate, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, expressing his uncontaminated affection as a political weapon and latest scandal and viral news and spicy tales to suit selected segments of the world, particularly Chinese communist propaganda. With due respect, I don't see the need of apology by the Office of His Holiness for the transparent, playful, and tongue-in-cheek demeanor that His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama is greatly applauded, awed, and admired globally for. This event, for me, is the danger of a single story. What about our narratives? Remember the existence of multicultural manners. Thank you for your time.
Sungune ko rappe ko du ane tinda uta ngaran su ta pheba nanglo la do Instagram ri na re to su ina do kuch ta ne nyin tung da kang mang mang ji su ne do pe thwe ge ne ta phi chiro ji la yi ta mi se da ta ngi tangi kang la do re do Instagram da YouTube da to su no ta jaga ta floor mang bo yi do ti sik su su la ta ti ga ji te mo ta de ngi mang bo yi to su ro ge do se ta ne ya bu du ra ta to so ji ming te mo go ji ra ta chik mangbo yer da to chusonal YouTuber in re Instagram te chinge in re khari thol in da inde mangbo ji yer da number so ge ne kuch tana de jaga da tana news da tane chin social media no mangbo ji du da konso chu ge pu chin ju dil da tu sin je de ne konso da dukja ro ji su da so dukja me wa da ne kongi ne chik khalor da chamse da ne kongi chewa da tindi thola tin yin ba da tindigi da number so in the hijik kangmamon junthya da ane tusin chabin jethye ki ene rewa ye entiji number so ina kuch tisuti sikten namju gi nyentong tisuti da manda wajira misik di kola tisik ta tanda ngaran so da chik yena mena khobi ning la na re susu tsai lama susu gi ta tsin di shini gi ta lama tindi chi kola da tusin ta chik kechang une mai ba chik tusin mangbo chi da tus chape chi di samal tela ngotre chen tela rate chi da de kechal khonso lanju de kechang une mai ba do kecha hie go ya ta ta so la se che go da ngansu lenge ji cha yo ba songza ne number so da tusine chik de shi ji chene tus ni tung tung re su ru chi lai la so ne chamala tu ji che ne nyen tung de pas jugur ka ma ma chi ro chi lai la so ne tu ji che na ne ngaso de juma gi nyen tung ya chik tisu ro ji rasna ra nyen tung ya pu chi nyam de la ngaso thuye gi rewa ye la so chamala ta shi delek
Nga tsamling kenan letu Nye pami nga la song cho nga to Refugee hire Nga lapta nang la detu Kela nga la song cho nga to Refugee